Sup peeps, my name's Ian. I sell books on eBay. Ten orders going out today. As usual, they're nearly all books, obviously, because I sell books on eBay. We've got a couple of interesting individual books going out and quite a few bundles as well, so let's just rattle through them, get them packed up and see where the day takes us. Alright? Okay. Let's get to the right end of the list. So first we have Mr. David Walliams. A couple of these bundles going out today. 3 paperbacks, Codename Bananas, Ratburger, Gangsta Granny, and the total value of that was £7.63. So, a couple of quid each for each book, and it's buy 2 get 1 free. So someone's getting themselves a wee deal there. And that's just the first of a couple of Williams bundles going out. I haven't sold many of these of late, and now I have. So let's get them picked up. I'm beginning to notice all the new releases in the shops, so it's time to keep the eyes open because it's amazing how quickly they appear just in the charity shops. You know, people get them, read them, and they're out there straight away, sort of way. You know, all your hardcovers, and then when it hits January and February, you'll find loads of them appearing in the shops, so you can get all your new releases only a couple of months after they come out, which is great. Anyway, 1,100 grams. David Walliams going to TR2. TR2, there we go. First one for the pile. Next, we've got a single book. Peter Livesey. There it is. Diamond and the Eye. So, when I see books in really good nick, if I've got the space and I've got the cash, I'll pick them up and I just list them, you know, over the course of whatever it takes. Keep my singles topped up, but try not to go too excessive with them because they don't sell as fast as the ones that I've got in bundles. This is one, it's probably been sitting for a couple of months, but it is now sold for £2.85 plus postage. So that's a nice wee return on a 25 pencer. Get them wrapped up. Oh. Lots of bubbles to protect it, and into one of my little eBay bags. So go on sideways. Oh, it does, that's always good. And this is going to S4, so £6.50, totally in for that. And that's the kind of sale where if it goes promoted listings, I make about £1. If it goes without promoted listings, I make closer to £2. So it gives you an idea of the kind of fees involved in trying to sell these things. And this one miraculously and uncommonly went without promoted listings. So a couple of quid back on 25 pence purchase. Right, next we've got 4 Ian Rankin books, paperbacks. Dead Souls, Mortal Causes, what's that one, The Hanging Garden, and The Black Book. And these are going to BA8, £10.65. Don't know if I just said that already, but I'll say that again now. Was it promoted? Oh yes, of course it was. I couldn't get 2 non-promoted in a row. That just wasn't going to happen. I'll get these wrapped up. bubble wrap order hasn't arrived yet, and I'm running really low. So I'm normally overly generous in how much wrap I put around things, but today I'm going to try and keep it just right. Not going to underdo anything, but at the same time I want to make sure that I've got enough to get everything done, and hopefully the fresh rolls will arrive sometime today and be good to go for Monday. What's today? Saturday. And I don't usually do anything on a Sunday, but you never know. Depends how many of us. Doesn't happen often, but if there's loads of orders coming on a Saturday, then I'll pack them up on the Sunday, even though they won't actually go to the post office until Monday. But I'll get these ones done and out, because the post is early on a Saturday. 900 grams, and Ian Rankin is going to be 8. That's right, by 8. Right, let's pop that in the pile. Next, we have another single book. This went for $15.65, that's including the postage, and it's a signed copy of Brian Cox's autobiography, Putting the Rabbit in the Hat. So, signed first edition, even says it on the front. It's in really good condition. It's been plastic sleeved. There's Mr. Cox's scribble. So let's see, that's a good sale. WA1 this is heading off to. And as ever, that came as part of a big buy, so it cost me about 25 pence. So I know there's a few people been asking how I can possibly make money competing with all the big sellers, and for the most part it really is pennies that you make on each sale, but there's enough of these types of sales out there that it just keeps that average up. So I think my average sale value is round about a £5 a book, which isn't bad, to be honest. If you sell a lot of them, then you'll make some pennies, and as long as you've got a good system in place and it doesn't take you too long to process, pack, send out, etc. What did I say? WA1 this is. Then it makes it hourly rate wise just about worthwhile. Right, next is another single book, and this is, I'll reach across and find it, 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. This went for £4.25 plus postage. So a surprising sale. Don't know how long I've had this sitting. Could have had it sitting for 6 months. So it's cost me like 60p in listing fees just to keep it on the site. But £4.25, not gonna complain. And now that it's sold once, I'll keep my eyes open, and I'll see it again, and I remember it, I'll buy it. And that's part of the trick is, if you're selling something that you're not interested in, you'll never be interested in it. The knowledge won't excite you, so you won't remember it as perhaps you should. This is what I think. So when you get something like that, it's not going to stick in your head that that's something to look out for. But if you're enthused by your subject matter, by the types of things you sell, so if you love clothes and you've got a real interest in clothes, then when something that you're not familiar with does well, that'll get locked in. The next time you're out and you see it, you'll know to pick it up. You might not be in a position that if somebody said, oh, tell me things that I should look for, that you would know them straight away, but when you see them, you'll remember them. Something will trigger, and you'll pick them up and get them. You know, toys, video games, whatever, bric-a-brac, whatever it might be. For me, it's books. I love books. I think books are amazing things. John Connolly, The Killing Kind, another single book going out. £6.40 in total, going to WF7. So, authors that I've never heard of before. Once I've seen them once, that's enough for my brain at the moment to recall them and pick them up next time. So there's probably, I think I've got about 300-400 different authors that I have bundles for, and if I see any of their books out there, I know to pick them up. Couldn't tell you right now who they all are, but when I see them, I know I've already got bundles of them and I can grab them. There's also a chunk of other authors that I have on my radar because I've maybe sold the odd single of them, or even types of fiction or types of non-fiction. So when I see them, some wee memory pops up and says pick it up. If I go to pick it up and they're looking for £3 for it, and it's something that is just coming from that kind of instinctive memory, I will leave it behind. But if it's part of a big load and I'm getting it for my preferred buy price of, you know, around about 25 pence, then I'm just going to grab it. I do have about 400 or 500 books stacked up waiting to be listed. Coffee that I've picked up for that reason, and they're there for when I don't have anything else to list. I'll stick them on as they go and just keep those numbers topped up. WF7 this is going to, I think I already said that, but I'm saying it again. So yeah, if you're enthused by whatever it is you're selling, so if you're going to do eBay or any of these things, find something that you can get a wee bit of passion about, something that you really like, that you don't mind dealing with. There'll always be times where you're going, oh, I can't be bothered with this. Listings are pain, packings are pain, whatever it might be. But if it's something that, you know, 90% of the time you love, then it makes it so much easier, and it also makes it easier to learn about that particular subject matter and keep buying the right things. Next is another single book, The Midnight House, Amanda Geard, G-E-A-R-D, we'll go with Geard. Another one for £2.85 plus postage. This is going to CM20. So let's get it wrapped. Now, I've actually changed up something in my eBay site, or my eBay store, on my listings yesterday. So everything constantly evolves. You want to be always looking for where you might be able to make improvements. Continuous improvement, it's a huge thing. If you embrace it and you can make the most of it, then it will serve you very well. So sales have not been great the last few weeks. They've been distinctly average. A wee bit earlier in the year I was selling between 50 and 60 books a day, and that's now dropped down to about 30. Went even lower than that for a short period, but we're back up at about 30 books a day, and that's not good enough. So I've been keeping an eye on, you know, all the data, the different trends, everything that's available to me, and not just on my listings but on other people's as well. And I've spotted a few things that I can improve or change and see if it has an impact. So I did the first thing earlier last week, which was something I've been meaning to do for a long time. It's if you've got confidence that you've got a good product, and books are books, so I think they're a good product. I've got every faith in it from that point of view. Then just digging out the next wee bundle to go, which is 3 Lee Child. Yeah, so you've got what you think is the right product and the right price. So I know I have the right prices. They can vary, they can go up and down a little bit, but in general I'm always close to having the right price. Then the only thing you can really improve is your offer. Now if you weren't using a platform like eBay, then there's more parts to what that offer is, i.e. your actual advertising campaigns, however it is you get your product in front of people so that they can consider buying it. And then once you've attracted them to it through the advertising, then it's the actual kind of point of sale effort and how you present that final product to them and get them to click buy. So I'm using eBay, so the advertising piece is pretty much taken care of by them. If I provide the product, they'll put the title of my product in front of people. I can influence that with promoted listings, etc., but that's not where we're at the moment, or from what we're talking about here. But the other part of the offer that can be improved is the item description. I've had my item descriptions, I'll be honest, I've been pretty lazy. Just build your own book bundle, buy 2 get 1 free, whatever it is, mix and match, and that's it there. Oh, my stack's falling over. Hold on, just pick it up. But keep them in order. So I've been in and extended what that description is. It still says essentially the same thing, but a wee bit more detail and a bit about, you know, who I am as a business. I usually use we when I'm writing these things because it suggests that it's more than just a one-man band, but at the same time I want to keep it clear that this is a small business. I don't really want to become World of Books. There's still a price sticker on that one, just take it off. I've got a target of where I want to get with this particular little enterprise, and once I've achieved that, and I will, I just don't know how long it'll take, but once I've achieved that, then I can decide whether or not it's something that's going to become more of a business. So my aim is to max out as a one-man band, and I've got a fair idea of exactly what I can do to achieve that. Once I have achieved that, then I can decide whether or not I want to double up and have somebody else in doing the daily work, or if I'm quite content with the income coming from that, the effort required from that, maybe get somebody to provide a wee bit of support so I can have the odd day off, but just keep it ticking over there. So in that description I've kind of tried to get across that I'm not, you know, striving to sell 1 million books a year or anything. We're a small business, what we do to support the local community, blah blah blah. So I changed that up earlier in the week, and sales have improved slightly, or the conversion rates improved slightly. I don't know if it's down to that or just with the time of year we're getting into, but that was the first little change I made or wanted to make. Well, that's 3 Susan Lewis books going out to FK7. Dinner. So yeah, I tweaked that and it's done something, I think. Next up was to look at the advertising side of it again. So I've been having a good look at promoted listings, where my listings are performing and where others are performing, and I've made a couple of tweaks to my promoted listings to see if it brings in what I need. And I don't know yet because I've literally just done it. But I'll come back, tell you more about that if it works. I'll tell you more about it even if it doesn't work, so you know how to do it. Kylo Ren Build-A-Saber thingy-majig. Found this for a couple of quid in the charity shop last week. See, I don't usually pick up other bits and pieces. Well, I do, but not very often. So I just saw this and thought, oh, I've sold one of them before without the box. So grabbed it. So, might have been a fiver. I might have spent a fiver on that now. But it sold for 20 quid. And I've literally only had it a few days. So that's quite good. It's in the box, it's all tested and working. It lights up, it makes noises. Does everything it's meant to do. So I'll get this posted off. And hopefully, see, things other than books, I despair of them because see the number of returns you get, it just does my nutting. That's not true, you still, people keep a lot more than they send back, but it's just often enough that it niggles. It makes me doubt what I'm doing. But most of the time return reasons are, oh, found it for a better price after I bought it, or no longer want it. So it's not a criticism of the product or the service, it's just the type of things that people will just buy and then send back because they've changed their mind, which is a wee bit endemic within our modern society. And it's frustrating to say the least, because that, I don't think that'll come back, but if it did, then it's no longer cost me a fiver, it's cost me like 12 quid. So I've paid the postage out, I've paid the postage back, plus the original fiver, I think it was a fiver that I spent on it. So to make any money off of that for a second sale, I need to bump up the price quite dramatically, which makes it really not worth selling. Oh, yeah, those things are frustrating. And possibly because I have so few of that type of item, when one does come back, there's not another 3 or 4 or 5 of those types of things going out during the day to cover that return cost. If that comes back and it's cost me a tenner to get it back, and then whatever the, they're not cost me a tenner, a £20 refund plus return postage, then I've got to sell a lot of books that day just to cover that one return. And I know the money was there already for that other return, but I need my money to pay my bills. So when something comes in, within a few days that money is back out buying bubble wrap or bags or paying me a wage, whatever it might be, it's gone back out. So when that suddenly has a big return, which is not a huge return if it was 20 quid, but it's big enough that that would seriously impact what I make on any given day, and that has a knock-on effect. So that makes me nervous. Where are we? NN11 for a bunch of Alexander Kent books. So that's kind of one of the reasons that I keep away from that stuff. But if you see it and it's a good price and it's in good condition, and there's no reason why anybody would want to send it back, you know, if you're confident in it, then go for it. If you're picking something up and you're genuinely thinking, oh, it might be a bit dodgy, it might be a bit knackered, then either be really honest in your description, or don't buy it. Don't take the risk, because if it's 25p, nah, it doesn't mean anything. But if you're spending a fiver on something, then you need to know that you're going to get something back on it. Anyway, enough blathering on about that. Next up, DVDs. I haven't sold these for a few days. 4 musicals, excuse me, West Side Story, Annie, Evita, and Chicago. Musicals are good. DVDs are good to sell. They're light, easy to package, don't take up a huge amount of space, and there's always somewhere, whether it be a shop, a car boot sale, somewhere where you can get them for like 6 or 10 for £1. And so you only have a pennies into them. So that would have been 10 for £1. I got them for 40p to get the DVDs, and they have sold for, including postage, £7.25. So they'll post for £3-ish. A wee bit of fees. It cost me 40p, and I'm probably going to get about £1.50 back in total, so around about £1 profit. So obviously they aren't books, so part of that £7.25 is VAT. But we'll have to go to the VAT man for them. And some of that comes back because between the eBay fees and the postage costs, that's going to be well over £4. So I pay VAT on that £4, which will be deducted from the VAT I have to pay for that item on £7. So instead of it being 20% VAT, usually works out kind of 10% that you have to pay. So 70p in VAT type thing. Hope that makes sense. I'm not by any stretch an expert or an advisor or anything to do with finance and VAT and any taxes, anything like that. So if anybody's taking what I'm saying and using it, do your own research. Believe nothing until you're sure of it on your own. Right, next we have, where are we? Oh, that's us. Yeah, I've got a few more orders that I've already pulled, but they're not going out till Monday, so I'm not going to do them just now. I will leave them and pack them up tomorrow, possibly, because it must have been a busy morning. It's about 5 orders this morning. Oh, busy days. Anyway, that is all for now then. So, as ever, hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe you got something out of it, maybe you haven't. One last little thing. A couple of weeks ago, I was excited because I was at like 96, 97 subscribers. I thought, my God, I'm going to hit 100 soon. And I did. And that was 2 weeks ago. So 6 months, 4 months, whatever it was, got to 100 subscribers. So that was brilliant. I'm not on YouTube to make money. I've under no illusions about that whatsoever. But a couple of weeks ago, I hit 100. And as of this morning, I've hit 300. So that's been 200 new subscribers over the last couple of weeks, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support and all the rest of it. Love you. See ya. Bye.